Hey y'all, I'm Angela Barrett, and this is Talking South Carolina. Now y'all take a load off and listen, because no matter if you just moved here, thinking about moving here, been here your whole life, or you just plain nosy, bless your heart, I'll have something for you. Like, who's living in High Cotton? Who's madder than a wet hen? Places to go if you got a hankering for fried chicken, and where you can go to get drunk as Cooter Brown. We'll talk pig pickings, cow tipping, tillions, hay rides, who's buttering whose biscuits, what's a case quarter, and lots of other stuff. So stay a while. Y'all, it's gotta be a hoot.
This episode of the Talking South Carolina podcast has been brought to you in part by HomeMattersSC.com, professional real estate services and marketing in the Midlands of South Carolina for people who want more. And now she's a realtor by day and a podcaster by night. Here's your host of the Talking South Carolina podcast, Angela Barrett.
Hey guys, today I have with me Dr. Luke and Dr. Mike from McIntyre Family Chiropractic. Want to make sure I got that right. Out of Summerville, so we're down south. Yeah, Summerville's kind of becoming the new Charleston, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, Charleston's
it's
full.
growing.
It's kind of what I say about Lexington.
Yeah, we're over.
Yeah. So, how long have you guys been in business? I guess, Dr. Mike, it started with you, I guess.
Yeah, I opened in 2019.
2019.
And I guess we're almost, 5 years now in business, I guess. Yeah,
right.
Just about. So, yeah.
And Dr. Luke, how long have you been with them?
Yeah, so I moved different areas. So I'm originally from New York, Long Island, New York.
Long Island.
I went to school with Dr. Mike, so we're very close. We have the same philosophy in how to manage and care for patients. Same mentor, Dr. Wood. Shout out to Dr. Wood. He taught us everything that we know about the work that we do, and so just taking care of people. So I was in upstate and then California, so I just moved from California to work with Dr. Mike. So
a few weeks. Only been here a few weeks.
Yeah, a few weeks.
Yeah,
nice. So what part of California?
The Bay Area, Pleasanton, Concord area.
Cool.
So
my son worked out in California for a while, and not that I don't enjoy him being back in South Carolina, but I sure do miss the excuse to get out to Sausalito.
Oh, okay.
It's like, dang. So anyway, so tell me, you talked about the same philosophy in the care of your patients. What is that philosophy?
Well, I mean, our number one thing is service. Like, we're always focused on the patient, what they need. We do truly believe that we work with the body's ability to heal itself. So we don't, what we do is making the body function as well as it can, not looking at ways to like mask symptoms or anything like that. So it's definitely a different approach to healthcare. And we definitely share that servant mindset philosophy as well. So it's always focused on, what the patient needs and what we can best do to serve them. So.
And let's just get the elephant out of the room. Let's talk about the biggest misconception of chiropractic care. Let's just go ahead and nip that in the bud. What do you think it is?
Go ahead.
There's a lot there. So I think the biggest thing is people associate lack of symptoms with functioning optimally. One of a quote that I heard, they said that who was the well-known philosophy? One of the philosophy guys. He talks about the if we use the analogy or the quote that those without symptoms are the healthiest, the ones that without symptoms are in the grave, right? Because they have no symptoms. So people associate. I think that's the biggest misconception is that, oh, I don't have, whether that's someone that's 2 years old or 99 years old, like, I don't have any symptoms, that means I'm healthy or I'm functioning well. And as I mentioned before, only 1/3 of our nerves have pain receptors. And so lack of pain doesn't mean function. So that's why the work we do is not just where the pain is and then we adjust that particular area, there's a diagnostic, there's an analysis, or what we call a system approach to finding the root cause to the problem. And so we're very detailed and organized in regards to finding the root cause to the problem.
Yeah, there are some people who have said, "Oh, well, it hurt," and I'm like, "Well, you went to the wrong person then, because it's not supposed to hurt." I have my chiropractor, David Chandler, shout out to him, and seriously, if I could afford to go every day, and I know that's not good for you, but I just like to be adjusted. And so I'll just go in there and he said, "Anything wrong today?" And I'll be like, "No."
Just here to be well.
That's right. And that is a lot of it. I know many years ago, gone for migraines, certainly was in an accident many, many years ago. Not a bad one, but just enough to tweak things, did that. I am not a big medicine taker, so I seek all other avenues because the medicine just doesn't do well with me. Like some people can take a Tylenol PM. Well, that would make me in a coma for like 2 days. Not kidding, so I can't take it. So I've always sought out other revenues. And so I think what y'all do is a great thing, but I know that there are a lot of people who don't. So clear up some of the things. I mean, I've named one. You've been in a car accident and, you tweaked your neck, your back, and migraines for sure. It can help. Name some of the other things that people don't normally think of, that they just reach for medicine that you can help. Again, to the root cause.
I'll kind of say like medicine, but one of the things that I'm focused on now is like pregnancy and pediatric care. And we have another baby on the way in a few weeks, number 5.
Congratulations. Oh my God, 5? Yeah. Lord have mercy.
But and I hate to say medical world, but the medical world views something as simple and natural as pregnancy as an issue, right? It's not. So educating people about the fact that, this is a natural thing that we've been doing for, tens of thousands of years. It's not a medical intervention that's always needed. Now, obviously there are cases when there are, but seeing people having like such high rates of like C-section when it might not necessarily have to happen, or taking care of babies. The biggest thing that I focus on is like checking a baby after they're born. Like if your baby's born in a hospital, they check everything, but they don't have a spine check with what we do. It's the most important system in their body because their spine holds their nervous system, which controls everything. So I always think that baby's first adjustment is the most important one because we might be prevent any problem before it even becomes a problem.
Yeah. And speaking of children, when my son was young, he got headaches a lot. He was a baseball player, and the headaches were actually coming from things just being out of line. And so we went a couple times a week. You got on 3 times a week, 2 times a week, and then we got to that monthly as long as he played baseball, and we went to get the regular spine adjustments. Headaches were not there. It's just people, I guess, don't think about that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Our body's designed to heal, and we need to remove the interference from the brain to body. And another passion of mine is something that I really like to study is blood sugar and adrenal function. A lot of people don't associate that with managing their blood sugar and or digestive. When I was in California, I saw pretty much people weekly just for digestive, like acid reflux. I can't tell you how many patients are on acid reflux medicine for 15, 20 years. When we get back to the root of how the medicine was developed, it should be only several weeks that really they should be on it. But just educating. Dr. Mike and I have a heart just educating, going above and beyond just to sit down with them and just give them hope and clarity as to what the problems are and whether we can fix it here or we need to refer them out. We're trying to work with other practitioners to really build a network of people that take care of people. So,
and the other thing, this is how it was explained to me many, many, many years ago, because I'm much older than you guys. When your spine is aligned and everything is working, everything flows like it should. And I'll give you an example. Hormones, female hormones.
Yeah.
I have, for a fact, had a friend who was told by a medical doctor, can't get pregnant, can't get pregnant, can't get pregnant. I said, go see a chiropractor. In 6 months, guess what? She was pregnant.
I have so many stories of that.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
I know. So, I mean, people, you know, for women who still have all that, again, pretty old. I mean, it is a very, and non-invasive is what I'm trying to say, a non-invasive way to get everything working right down to female hormones, which are not talked about a lot because people are like, ugh, let's don't talk about that. But it needs to be brought up because it's a big part, because then, you know, as you get older, then you go through all this whole other thing. And it just, you know, but all of it helps, what you guys do. So speaking of that, we'll talk about the 3 T's of chiropractic care. Tell me about that.
You got it. This is your thing. Go 3 T's.
Yeah, it's toxins, traumas, and thoughts, or another is chemical, physical, and emotional stress. And that is the big reason for educating patients. I was just talking with someone earlier today about better understanding how can we manage stress. And that's why people say, oh, chiropractic, we have this broad stroke, is because if we can better understand how to, one, adapt to our stressors, then those 3 T's, chemical, physical, and emotional stress, we all have those, right? It's not going to go away, right? How do we better manage that? So that's why we have, Dr. Mike and I have a lot of things that we talk with them, lifestyle things that we do outside of the office to help them better manage their stress. So that's a key component, because a lot of people, as we mentioned before, a misconception is like, oh, I didn't know that my mental stress, you know, when people come in, you see them regularly, that you can tell then there's a lot of mental stress, whether that's difficulty at work or a family, death in a family. Like, that is a big emotional stress. And what that does, it puts a lot of stress to the nervous system, thus the joints. When the joints aren't moving well, your body can't move. I mean, I can talk forever about all those things.
Well,
but
just like when people have tension in the neck, I mean,
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, not always, that's stress. But
Yeah.
what
No,
happens
absolutely.
is, because like you're saying, it's just that gradual thing. And you know, the next thing you know, you're sitting with your shoulders up around your ears because you can't move.
Yeah.
I know I had several friends who have to go, I mean, just because of their jobs or what they do daily just provides a lot of stress. And they go for muscle management or chiropractic adjustments. However, I think at your office, I think you guys do both, like some sort of, I think I saw on the website, correct me if I'm wrong, a massage therapy there.
Yeah, I
Yes.
have a massage therapist in house who works with us.
Right.
We do. I say we don't do the spot treatment. We do corrective care, utilizing her skills. So she works with us in each case. Basically, it's pretty awesome to have that. So,
Yeah. So clear up an argument my sister and I have had before: massage first and then adjustment, or adjustment and then massage.
most of the time for me, I adjust people first and then send them in for a massage.
Yes,
Or
I'm
align
right.
everything, and then yeah. I don't like having massage first, because that muscle feedback gives me a lot of information on where and when to adjust.
Yeah.
So I like to adjust first, rather than getting rid of that feedback from the muscles and then adjusting.
Right. Yeah. Well, and just from a massage standpoint, it's like, it takes me a while to relax. If I've already had that adjustment, I'm sort of already relaxed when I get to the
Get that
massage,
ball
so
rolling.
I can enjoy all of it, you know. So let's talk about the services you guys do provide there at the office.
Okay, so we focus on the chiropractic care, right? We do Gonstead chiropractic care, and then have the massage therapist that works with us. My front office manager also does. She's a yoga instructor, so we do yoga classes.
Very nice.
She'll show people like some home care stuff, like stretching and things like that. And then we're starting to delve into some functional medicine stuff with a new partner that we have. We haven't really announced anything about that yet, but
You have
and
now.
there's a teaser.
Yeah.
And, that's the teaser. And then but we have other healthcare providers in the area that I work with, like some nurse practitioners, mental health counselor. That's somebody we work with pretty regularly. And I'm really just having even medical doctors. I mean, I work with medical doctors and OBGYNs, and having that relationship is wonderful. And I think a lot of chiropractors are afraid to have those relationships because they think that, I mean, there's the conception, right? We're different. We're not accepted by the medical world. And
you're not doctors, in quotations.
We're fake doctors, right?
Fake doctors, right.
We go through just as much schooling, and I really do put myself on being like people I take care of. I view them as like primary care doctor would. If they need to be referred somewhere or something else, like I need to figure out where they need to go. And I mean, we take x-rays on people. We have to do pathology read on those x-rays. And I mean, I found bone cancer in x-rays, and I need to be able to know where to send them and identify that stuff. So we're not just the, snake oil, rack 'em, crack 'em, pop a bone guy. We're holistic, whole body healthcare provider is what we're looking to do here. So.
Yeah. So let's talk about like people with arthritis. We'll just pick that one. How can you help? Because that's a common one. How do you help people with, what are the different modalities, I guess, that you can help people with arthritis with?
Go for it.
Yeah, so that term is used a lot, arthritis. It's an inflammatory, right? And so when we look at the x-rays, and that's why the detail, Gonstead is really based on a foundational perspective, right? So if there's imbalance or structural misalignment, it can irritate, put stress to the joint. So if that joint has been misaligned or not level, as we would call it, then over time there's going to be more wear and tear on that joint, and that's when you'll have more of the arthritic changes in the disc. And that's the big thing. To see is to know, and to not to see is to guess. Someone has told me. And so why would we ever want to guess with your health? And I talk to patients, like, if you go to a dentist, well, before they drill your teeth, you don't hesitate to take an x-rays, but a lot of the times say, I don't think it's necessary. But in order to see those changes and the arthritic changes, it's important to really figure out what's the cause of the problem is. So arthritis it's case by case, and we can, we can definitely help those things. So it's hard to say what we do for arthritis as opposed to what's causing the arthritis or arthritic changes what we see in the x-ray. Sometimes it's an inflammatory that's causing, digestive issues. So that could be potential, and that's can typically be more the upper or mid-back area. So every joint in your spine has a direct correlation with every organ, tissue, and gland. That's why the details are so important. When someone comes, I just have lower back pain, Dr. Wood would say, point to it, show me and trace where the pain is, because that's going to give us an indication of potentially what segment or joint is potentially causing stress.
Yeah, and you brought up something interesting, and I always seem to forget. I mean, obviously not in that field whatsoever, but have been my whole life with a chiropractor. But you forget that every joint or every is related to an organ, like sort of like they do with the what is it called when they do the feet, and it's like this is liver, this is heart. I forget. Like
the reflexology, or
yeah. And people are
dermatomes in the body, and
right, and so it really is the same. If you were to look at a similar chart, the same with the spine, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what the number one reason why we look at the spine is to make sure that it's not affecting the nervous system, because your spine houses your spinal cord, your nervous system, direct connection to the brain that controls everything. So it's the only system in your body fully encased by bone for protection. Right. When the spine's out of alignment, it really affects that. One of the small things that it does is cause pain. Right. But every single level in the spine, the nerves, it's the electrical function in the body. the nerves come from somewhere to control stuff, and it starts at your spine.
So there was a question I had, and I'm sorry, it just left me. I'll move on, and maybe it'll come back to me. So tell me what you think makes you guys stand out. I'm just going to say more than other chiropractors. I'm going to say South Carolina. We'll go that far. What makes you guys stand out?
So the system that we use, the Gonstead system, it's specific, it's scientific, it eliminates all guesswork.
Yeah.
And I mean, you'd be surprised how many chiropractors don't even take x-rays. Somebody can literally come crawling into an office and they won't take an x-ray before they work on them. And so that's just a small part of what we do. So we look at movement, motion in the joints, x-ray, obviously like system analysis, what's been going on, history, all that. So putting so many pieces of the puzzle together before we ever even lay our hands on people. One of the things that people have told me a lot is when they come to see me, they don't feel like they're just going through an assembly line. And that's not to talk bad about other doctors. It's just our system's different. You know, we don't put people through the assembly line. I talk to people. I re-examine them every single time before I x-ray them. So I don't just meet them in the room with their face down. So it's just specificity to each person's unique issue. And unfortunately, I just don't see that a lot.
And
but that's
working
what
with the other doctors and other professions, I think, would be different than some of the chiropractic care.
Oh, absolutely. I say co-managing, right? I love co-managing care with other professionals. I'm not like hiding in the corner saying, oh no, just, choose me, pick me. I'm like, no, I'm like, give them my number. I'll call them, like send me the labs. I go over blood reports with people all the time from blood tests. And most of the time they'll get an x-ray, like a medical x-ray, which is a little different than what we do, or blood work or something. And they'll just say, oh, it's normal, but they never have it reviewed. So even like normal doesn't necessarily mean normal if you're right on the cusp of being abnormal. But if you fall into that normal, it's just kind of, you're normal, check a box and move on. And we don't do that.
Right. So, Dr. Mike, I understand you have a farm.
I do, yeah.
So tell me a little bit about that.
So I kind of just joke that I live on a big petting zoo. So, so we have a bunch of animals we've rescued. So I have like horses and donkeys that have been rescues, and I have ducks and chickens and pigs and goats and sheep and on. And it's really just it's a simple living connection with animals and the earth, and raise my kids on it. And I joke that I have free range kids.
Yeah.
So
well, with 5.
Yes. Well, yeah, that's like, it's my little, my little.
What are you working on, a baseball team here or something?
I'm trying. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's pretty cool. It is always amazing to me how our northerners who move south end up with farms or, lots of land.
Well,
and
I have my uncle who I was very close with was a farmer his whole life. And he was like the happiest person I ever met. Just simple guy, always happy, always had a smile on his face. And I mean, he was onto something. So
yeah.
I'm trying to embrace that. So
yeah, I call my therapy dirt therapy, like, working in the yard
Absolutely.
and planning and digging. But it really is. And my husband will say, do you want me to help you? I'm like, please don't. Please just go away.
My donkeys are great listeners.
Right. So, Dr. Luke, when are you going to get your farm?
Yeah, I mean,
coming from New York.
When I first came and visited Dr. Mike, I helped him set up a
sheep shelter. We built a repurposed pallet sheep shelter.
I do love when I was in school, and I really enjoyed the scenery, and I just love it. I do love it here. So
good.
He's slowly showing me the ropes in regards to how to build. And what did you say? You start with chickens, right?
Yep, chickens are the gate.
Yeah, that is the big thing. I do real estate in real life, and I must get asked daily, well, can we have chickens? Like,
Yep.
not in a subdivision.
Yeah.
You're going to have to go outside of that. Yeah. So tell everybody how they get in touch with you and what, before we do that. So for people, because chiropractic care sometimes, a lot of times, is not covered or either fully covered with insurance. How do you guys help people with that side of things? Because it can get expensive if you don't have insurance.
And that's actually one of the reasons why when I opened my office, I chose not to participate with insurance companies, because they literally make it so that I have to charge more. Right, because they don't reimburse. I mean, that's a whole nother. We could do an hour
sure.
on that. So I just I set my prices to be affordable. I offer discounts when I can. I offer monthly payment stuff. I mean, I try to make that as easy as possible. And we do cash pay. We literally just eliminate the middleman of the insurance company trying to tell you what you need and what you don't need. Because in my humble opinion, that's them practicing chiropractic without a license. Again, that's a whole nother conversation for a different day, but
right, exactly.
Yeah, I try to make the financial side of stuff the easiest, least thing to worry about, we just focus on getting people well. So,
yeah, cash pay. People should really, again, we'll talk about that at another time, but people should really start asking about that. Here nor there. Tell everybody how they get in touch with you. I know you're on Facebook, and I know you have a website, but tell everybody how they get in touch with you.
Yeah, that's the easiest way. Website's got all our information on there. We can, if somebody's interested in even just sitting down with us, I always do free consultations with people if they just want to sit and see if chiropractic is something that might help. So I always offer that. And then, if you have the website's McIntyre Chiro sc.com.
Right.
All our info's on there. My social media stuff's on there. Our telephone number, online info, booking, all that stuff.
And do you guys sometimes do speaking engagements at places? I thought I saw that. Maybe I was wrong.
No, we do. Yeah. We offer classes in the office.
Oh, okay.
We'll travel to do some. We like to do lunch and learns and stuff. Things like that are great because you can just go meet people where they're at and talk about things. I love teaching seminars. I like to do like business seminars for chiropractic. So that's a little side thing that I do to help young docs, not fail in business, because unfortunately, being in business for yourself is hard. So yeah, and you have a heart to help people, but you also got to keep the lights on in your office to do that.
Right.
So,
that's right. Well, thank you guys so much for being with me today and giving us a little bit of insight about how you guys help people in the Summerville area and surrounding. But thanks so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Talking South Carolina podcast. Why not check out our website at talkingsouthcarolina.com and follow us on social media. You can subscribe to the show on Spotify, YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and on your favorite podcast apps. For information about being a sponsor on the show and on the website, contact us at area code 803-386-9885 or email us at angela@talkingsouthcarolina.com. This episode has been brought to you by the friendly folks at Giraffe Marketing. Find out more at giraffemarketingllc.com.
I'm gonna be the best version of me. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, roar like a lion, and I ain't even trying. No, 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 no.